Hello there. Welcome. We are now in the last part of my four little points as to why some of the things that Jesus did that actually sets him apart from, um, that really makes you aware or compels you to investigate some of the stuff that he said and how was he different than most people in his day, right? Now, the last video is essentially about the concept of God, and very importantly, a concept of a God that loves. Now, back in those days, people knew about God. People knew, were very attuned to the divine back in those days. That's why you had so many gods in the pagan cultures. But none of those cultures, none of those pagan gods, or none of those pagan cultures, or even in the Jewish community, even in Judaism, you did not have an aspect of a God that loves. You had an aspect of a God, that's there, that grants you. He essentially, watches over you. He defends you. He, upholds you. He's your shield. He's your sword, and all those stuff. But the idea that a God that could go to your level and meet you where you are and rise up with you and embrace you on that journey, completely different, completely new idea, which is one of the reasons why after the death of Jesus and the apostles starting spreading the gospel, it caught fire because of that notion of a God that loves. And the story in the Bible that completely gets a 360 view of that is in Luke chapter 15 verse 11 to 36. And all of us are familiar with that particular verse or that particular story, which is the story of the prodigal son. You have a son that demands of his father. First off, he says, "Give me my share of your estate now." You're basically saying, in those old days, you're dead. Give me my share. Because whenever you separate the share of your father's share of your parents is when your parents die. So in essence, that young guy is saying, or that young chap is saying, you're dead to me. You're gone. Give me what is mine. And he takes his stuff. See, he basically says to his father in a nice way, you don't exist anymore. Piss off. Sorry my language. But be gone and give me my share. And I want to do what I want to do. Okay? So take a hike. So he goes off, spends all of his money and riotous living and living that are very immoral and all those good stuff. And then, as life always does, have its, like they always say in one of my favorite movies, Matrix, when Morpheus says, faith is never, faith it seems is never without a sense of irony. And the irony is, after him doing all these stuff, there's a famine, in the country, and he starts to starve, and he goes and finds what the pigs are eating. And you have to take the pigs are considered one of the most filthy animals in the Jewish culture. Okay, filthy. They eat everything, so you don't eat that. Okay, he's eating what pigs are eating to show you how low he went. And he went and he came to his senses. He says, in my father's house, there are so many things to anticipate. Even the servants have better lives. I will go back and ask my father to hire me as one of his servants, not as his son, servant. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. This is where Jesus would catch the eye of all of his Jewish listeners, right there. When the son is slowly walking in, the father was waiting, and he sees him. And immediately, what the father does, he runs out to meet him. He runs out. Now, let's stop here. Back in the Jewish culture, fathers do not run to their child. Fathers do not run. And it's the same sense that they have for God. God does not run to you. You run to God. And Jesus is saying, you have a father that runs. He runs to his son and meets him halfway, or he meets him along the way. Jesus is saying, in essence, you have a father that is always running towards you. And he wants to meet you halfway or along the way. It's beautiful. And that captivates people's hearts, man. When people could understand that they don't have to climb the highest mountain, they don't have to, sacrifice 100 bulls, they don't have to, go around the world 1,000 times to get God's attention. God is already seeking them. That is beautiful. And this is one of the reasons why Jesus came to reveal the fullness of the Father. Okay, and I could go on and on, but that's the story. That's the reason why Jesus was so influential. He gave a face of God that no one ever saw. And no one ever revealed it after him. A God that loves. And it's an unconditional love. Okay, so that's what I had for you guys. Hope it made sense, those 4 points. And I'll be talking about in my next videos. Why was Jesus so important? What were some of the things that that he was supposed to do based on Jewish tradition that he actually did, and why he is the cornerstone of our faith, and this is where we rise or fall. Okay, so I hope it made sense. Thank you very much for watching, guys. God love you. I love you. We love you. Thank you very much. Be saints. God bless you. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Take care.